Hello, good evening students. In yesterday's class, we have studied the EMF equation and related EMF equation problem solutions. Another important concept, derivation for EMF equation of transformer. For that, we have to assume certain things and you have to show the graph, variation of sinusoidal flux which is developed inside the core. Variation of flux in core. This also carries some weightage of marks, 1 or 2 marks. You have to draw the graph. So consider N1 be the number of turns in primary winding and N2 be the number of turns in secondary winding. Phi m be the maximum flux in the core, it is in Webers. And also we know that one of the standard equation, maximum flux density equal to maximum flux per area, it should be in Webers per meter square. So from this expression also phi m equal to Bm into A, where Bm is maximum flux density, it is in Webers per meter square, and A is area of core, that should be in meter square, where F be the frequency of AC input voltage, it is in Hertz. The graph shows the variation of sinusoidal flux inside the core. We have to take two instants of the flux starting from 0, 1 instant, then reaches some value, so that it reaches maximum flux in 1/4 time period or in quarter cycle. T is the total time period for 1 cycle. Therefore, flux reaches its maximum value in 1/4 T, where T is once again time period. We also know that time period is inversely proportional to frequency, so it becomes 1 divided by 4f. Therefore, average rate of change of flux, that is d phi by dt, flux changes from 0 to maximum value, so it is phi m. Rate of two flux conditions, one is 0, another one is maximum flux, so actually it is phi m minus 0, hence it becomes phi m, d phi equal to phi m, dt equal to 1/4 t or 1 divided by 4f. So this becomes 4f time phi m volts. So as per the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, average rate of change of flux with conductor means average induced EMF per conductor. So now we shall write average induced EMF per conductor is equal to 4 times f phi m volts. Then variation of flux inside the core, it is sinusoidally. Once we are knowing the average value, then it is possible to calculate RMS value of induced EMF, because we are knowing the sinusoidal variation of flux form factor equal to 1.11. Actually the form factor is the ratio of RMS to average value. Hence the RMS value of induced EMF per turn equal to average value of EMF into form factor, that is 1.11. So it becomes 4.44 f phi m volts. Then RMS value of induced EMF per turn, it becomes 4.44 f phi m volts. Therefore, RMS value of EMF across whole primary winding, that means EMF per turn into number of turns in primary winding. So above equation is multiplied by N1, it becomes total RMS value of induced EMF across whole primary winding. So RMS value is denoted by capital E. 1 means primary side, E1 equal to 4.44 f phi m into N1 volts. In a similar fashion, we have to write RMS value of induced EMF in secondary winding. E2 equal to 4.44 F5M into N2 volts. So you have to remember up to here, if derivation is asked in examination, up to this point you have to derive for 6 marks. Another important relation, voltage transformation ratio. It is defined as the ratio of E2 by E1, V2 by V1 and N2 by N1, all secondary to primary. Another important concept, if K is 1, that is N2 is greater than N1, such a transformer is referred as step-up transformer. Such type of transformers are used in generating station to increase the voltage level from 11 kV to 220 kV. Another possible condition, if K is less than 1, that is N2 is less than N1, then which reduces the voltage level. Such a transformer is called step-down transformer. Such transformers are used to distribute the electricity to consumers. It is referred as distribution transformers. You can observe the diagrams. Both diagrams represent step-up transformer and step-down transformer. In first diagram, N1 equal to 5, N2 equal to 20. Hence K is 20 by 5. K is 4. It is known as step-up transformer. Respective voltage, if input voltage is 100 volts, then output voltage becomes 400 volts because K equal to V2 by V1. In similar fashion, second diagram represents step-down transformer. Assume N1 is 10, N2 is 8, then K equal to N2 by N1. K value becomes 0.8 and also K equal to V2 by V1. We can use, if V1 equal to 100 volts, then V2 becomes 80 volts. In this manner, K value is very important. By using different type of winding selection, hence it is possible to design step-up or step-down transformers. So now we have to see some problems based on EMF equation. You have to remember expressions E1 and E2. A 200 kVA 10,000 bar 400 volts 50 Hz single phase transformer has 100 turns on the secondary. Calculate number 1 primary and secondary currents, number of primary turns and maximum value of flux. Same question is asked in one of the VTU question paper problem for 6 marks. So you write down the data one side, which current you are calculating, that is full load primary current I1 equal to rating of transformer. It is expressed in kVA, so we have to convert into volt ampere. That means 200 kVA, 200 into 10 to the power of 3 volt amperes divided by primary voltage. Which current you are calculating, respective voltage should be taken, divided. Hence we are calculating primary current. We have to divide rating of transformer by primary voltage V1. Hence we are getting ampere. This is I1 primary current. In a similar fashion, full load secondary current I2. Again it is equal to rating of transformer in volt ampere divided by secondary voltage. So we are getting around 500 amperes. Number of turns of secondary is given 100. Then you go for N1, number of primary winding turns. It is very easy. Use the K value, that is N2 by N1 equal to V2 by V1. You substitute N2 value, N1 value keep as it is, and ratio of 10,000 bar 400. 10,000 is V1, V1 by V2, primary voltage by secondary voltage. It is the ratio expression. Hence primary is 10,000, secondary voltage is 400 volts. So 400 divided by 10,000. N1 we are getting 2500. So to calculate the maximum value of flux, either you consider expressions for E1 or E2. Now in this problem I am using E2 expression. E2 equal to 4.44 F phi m into N2. Except phi m, you are knowing all the values. E2 is 400, N2 is 100, supply frequency is 50 Hz. Hence we are going to get the maximum flux, that is 0.018 Webers. Sir, understand the problem. Second problem, find the number of turns required on HT side of 415 bar 240 volts 50 Hz single phase transformer. If the area of cross section of the core is 25 cm square and maximum value of flux density is 1.3 Webers per meter square. So it is also asked in one of the VTU question paper. So main understanding is, instead of primary and secondary, another name is used, high tension, HT. High tension means primary side. HT side voltage means primary voltage, V1 equal to 415. Low tension side means secondary, V2 equal to 240 volts. Area of cross section is given, capital A equal to core cross section, that is 25 cm square. Always you convert into meter square. 25 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square. Only understanding is flux value is not given here. So we have to use the standard expression, that is maximum flux density Bm equal to 1.3 Webers per meter square is given. So this Bm is also equal to flux per area. Hence we have to replace flux equal to Bm into A. That is the idea. So always Bm in Webers per meter square, flux in Webers, area should be in meter square, standard expression. Therefore substitute all the values, then finally we are going to get N1 as 575, sir. So one more problem, the required no load ratio in a single phase 50 Hz transformer is 6000 bar 250 volts. Find the number of turns per limb on high voltage and low voltage sides if the flux value is given 0.06 Webers. You write down given data. E1 is given 6000, secondary voltage E2 is given 250 volts, flux directly given 0.06 Webers, F is 50 Hz. Again here high voltage side, low voltage side. High voltage means primary. So it is directly you can use primary voltage or high voltage side voltage E1 equal to 4.44 F phi m into N1. You substitute all the values, you are going to get directly N1 450. In similar fashion you go for E2. E2 equal to 4.44 F phi m into N2. You substitute respective secondary voltage, then N2 you are going to get. You make round numbers, should not keep the number of turns in point. 18.7 you are getting, make the 19. See there another problem. A 125 kVA transformer has a primary voltage of 2000 volts at 60 Hz. Primary turns are 182 and secondary turns are 40. Calculate number 1 no load secondary EMF, full load primary and secondary currents, flux in the core. So it is also asked in one of the VTU question paper problem for 6 marks. So as usual, full load primary current I1, that should be equal to rating of transformer in volt ampere divided by V1. So 125 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 2000. So I1 you are getting around 62.5. After that, you calculate the K value, sir. K value is given. K equal to N2 by N1, 40 divided by 182. So, in terms of current, K is also equal to I1 by I2. This is very important factor. Remember, once again, K is also equal to I1 by I2. After knowing the I1, with the help of K, you calculate I2. I2 equal to I1 by K. 62.5 divided by K, you are going to get around 284 amperes. So again we have to use K value to calculate no load secondary EMF, that is N2 by N1 equal to E2 by E1. N2 is 40, N1 is 182, E2 we have to calculate. E1 value is actually 2000, 182 you remove that, by mistake it is happens. So instead of that it is primary voltage. Primary voltage is how much? 2000, E2 by 2000. So E2 becomes 439.6 volts. So lastly, to calculate the phi m, again same story. You consider E1 expression or E2 expression. In this problem now I am considering E1 equal to 4.44 F phi m into N1 volts. So E1 is 2000, frequency 50 Hz, phi m as it is, N1 is 182. So we are going to get the flux value 0.004 Webers. So continuation of problem, they may ask to calculate the area of core with giving flux density. For that you can assume flux density now 1.3 Webers per meter square. What is the value of area of cross section? Then again we have to use BM. BM equal to phi m by A. So area of cross section A equal to phi m by BM. So phi m is 0.04, BM is 1.3. So we are getting the area 0.031 meter square. So all problems are important. EMF equation is also important. So all of you practice, sir, to get the good marks. Thank you to one and all.